Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and juicy, delicious little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are in the world. Now then, so I'm in the pitch black at the moment, my delicious little babies. Okay, I'm doing this for a reason. And I'm going to be quite honest with you, my delicious little babies. Something's really playing on my noddle this morning, my delicious little babies, at around 2:15 in the morning. My delicious little babies, I see that we've had a full moon. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone. Yeah. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, so what is it that I want to talk about? So I want to discuss, just very quickly, the Lucy Letby case. And, well, what I've got to say here, my delicious little babies, okay? Because I remember I said on one of my videos not so long ago that I used to wander off and my dear dad never knew where I was. And I used to go on to the children's hospital playground, you know, where I live in Old England, my delicious little babies. And I used to go there, and I was only about, I'll say about 9 or 10. And nobody else used to know where I was. I just used to wander off, you know what I mean? Okay. And yeah, I remember the old children's hospital now. Okay, my delicious little babies. It was actually Five Ways. It was called Five Ways. A very large, old-fashioned hospital, my delicious little babies. And I just used to go wandering into the hospital. And I met a beautiful, dear little baby there now. And I sat on the bed and I said, you know, I says, well, why are you here, you know, and everything like this. So I was only very young. And they explained, they said, you know, I'm very poorly. And yeah, very, very, very sad. So let's get back to Lucy Letby now. So when we look at Lucy Letby, I do believe, I've never mentioned this before, my delicious little babies, but I'm going to mention it this evening. I happen to be listening to another video. Anyway, I've heard many videos, very sadly, on this situation, what's been going on. But I do believe, there we are, before I even say it, she's been stitched up. I do believe that, my delicious little babies. I believe she's been stitched up good and proper. Okay? But she, just like other, shall we say, nurses, doctors, okay? Because of how they've been taught, it's like, how can I put it? So if they get asked to put, I don't know, intravenously or whatever it is, then there we are, they're going to go and do it, isn't it? So we could look at this situation, my delicious little babies, like a double-edged sword. Okay, I'm hoping that you're going to follow me here now. So put it this way, if we was to really convict every single doctor and nurse for the murderers that they are, there we are, and my shoulders and my spine is really going up here. My delicious little baby's kind. Then the fact of the matter is that they'd all be, there we are, locked up. Okay? It's only the dear nurses or dear doctors who say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this to, our mankind. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little baby? So this is like a double-edged sword. But we also have to look at the name Lucy, Juicy Lucy. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, Kai? Now, if you look at Merce Lucy's, for the ones who have known anywhere, I do not ever really meet any Lucys with dark hair. They're usually blonde-haired, blue eyes. That's usually Juicy Lucy's. Okay, my delicious little babies, Kai? Although we did have Lucy Connolly, she sort of broke the mould, didn't she? But then again, her husband was, he'd been somebody else, it seems, my delicious little baby, you know what I mean? But she had dark eyes and dark hair. But usually, as a rule, it's blonde hair, blue eyes, my delicious little babies. Do you follow me? Anyway, so how do I see this situation? Yes, it's terrible what's happened to little Lucy. Yes, it is. Okay? We can only say our bright blessings that this outcome will be, there we are, very fruitful. But I would certainly say that she's not going to, put it this way, I do not feel that your woman there now would be going back into that profession. Okay, my delicious little babies, and to be perfectly honest, I really just do not feel that it would be in her best interest to do that. Okay, my delicious little babies, because there could have been times, okay, so I'm not saying this to hurt, offend, or upset anybody. Because of the way that they're being taught, we have to look at the way that they're being taught and trained. That what's happened is, they could maybe give something what do they call it? Intravenously. Sorry, my delicious little baby, slightly stumbled there. Orally, like a spoonful. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Okay. But because they've not been taught any other way, my delicious little babies, that's how they operate, do you see? So if we look at this, getting back to the double-edged sword, it's sad in a way, but in another way, let's just say, without Lucy realising what she's really doing, I personally do believe that she at some point questioned, because my shoulders go up, that she did question about some of the ways that maybe the little beautiful little babies were being treated, but she never said nothing. There we are. See, shoulders go up again. She had her thoughts. There we are. Shoulders go up, but she never said nothing. So maybe what this is about as well as our putrid governments, to try to make some sort of scapegoat here, okay, my delicious babies. But I also believe that at the end of the day, what's going on here is that there's another method, which is when she gets released, which I do not feel is going to be too far in the future, shall we say, my delicious little babies. I feel it'll be, there we are, pretty soon. What I will say to you is that she'll never go into that profession again. So I'd say that there we are. She's learned, there we are, many lessons here. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, if we was to do that with the rest of these putrid little effers, man, okay, then there we are. We'd be rocking and rolling onto a brand new road. Now, so all I can really say, just to end this, to draw a conclusion, I genuinely believe that when she went into her profession, she went in with a good heart, okay? But somebody, there we are, like I said, has stitched her up big time. She has been stitched up big time. Okay, my delicious little babies, kind of done it with journalists on different subjects, shall we say, journalists and different things now. They've done it with them all. Okay, my delicious little babies, but they seem to like the name Lucy, don't they? So maybe ones need to pay attention to certain names, like the name, they like the name, stumbling again, Jacob. They like that name. It was so many years ago when, was it in our Brummyland, where Jacob, he was very sadly murdered. And he was a musician, and his name was Jacob. It was all over the, mainstream media, my delicious little babies, okay? Everywhere he looked, okay? Now, let's change the subject, my delicious little babies. So, if this is the truth, well, may he rest in peace. And as for little Lucy, may she come out. She's never going to be the same woman again, because there we are, too much has been done to her, my delicious little babies. But I would really give good advice here. And the best advice I can give is that when she does come out, I just ask, mainstream or alternative, just to leave the woman alone, just to let her live a life. What I would like to see is that she's seen the truth of what's been done to her, and then she can sue the effing little effers now then. That's what I'd like to see. Now, changing the subject, and then I'm going to finish my video, and I am in the dark, my delicious little babies, because I'm actually in bed at the moment, okay? But what I'm going to say to you is, okay, Ben Habib. Okay, so I seen a video about Ben Habib, say stumbling there. And I was listening to a video, the early hours this morning, my delicious little babies. Well, anyway, I do not feel, I've mentioned Ben Habib on a couple of my other videos. Okay, my delicious little babies, yes, I have. But it was very interesting to see his, let's just say, arm movements. Plus the fact that, he's had a conversation. Was it a 20-minute conversation with, the putrid Elon Musk now? Okay, my delicious babies. So really, when we actually look at this now then, my delicious babies, my thoughts were banging, there we are, correct. Banging correct. Okay, my delicious babies, you do not trust. See, what I would love to see, and I'm going to be honest with you, my delicious babies, okay? What I would love to see is either somebody who's proper English now, who loves our country, who has not been born with a silver spoon in the gob. Okay, my delicious babies, I would much prefer to see somebody like that, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? Because I do not feel when you look at the connections now, that this is a very good connection. It's a bit like catching a train, you know, and sometimes you're meant to connect. So you're meant to get your ticket, jump on one train, and then what the general idea is then to jump off that train and jump on another. So it should really work hand in hand. It's just like a hand with a glove. But say, for example, if somebody gets in the way, say, maybe you're trying to get off the train and there's too many in front of you. You know what I mean? So they're all moving in front of you, but you're behind them. Do you see what I mean? And then you're meant to really run for the next train to the next platform, but it's not really quite worked. So you miss that train. Do you follow me, Martin babies? That's how I see Ben Habib. So I do see him as somebody who talks common sense. However, do I feel that he's on our side? No. Now, there is one more thing, sorry, that I want to discuss, and this is Andrew Bridging. Now, I've mentioned Andrew Bridging as well on my videos, my delicious babies. Yes, I have. Yes, we could say that he stood up for, you know, what was going on in the world, my delicious babies, especially in our old England, to do with the very sadly, you know, what was rolled out, the jibby jabs, my delicious little babies can. The fact of the matter is, he's still, you know, he seems to know, you know, that putrid flipping RF Kennedy and all that mad delicious little babies can. Please do not believe the bullshit that Trouble Trump is putting out, you know what I mean? Because you see they're rolling this out, okay? What they're trying to do, they're trying to, there we are, run for cover right now, because they know, there we are, too many are waking up, okay? Fact of the matter is, Trouble Trump, he always makes out that, you know, it's a wonderful achievement what he's done. So how can he do a U-turn? I do not believe the bullshit, and neither should anybody else. Okay, my delicious babies. But the fact of the matter is this. Andrew Bridging, the part that he's not mentioning, my delicious babies, did he have shares or something? Please do not quote me. Please do not quote me. I have actually, there we are, heard about this, there we are, a very long time ago. The only thing is, my delicious babies, I never mentioned it, okay? This is what I do. This is how I operate. Do you see what I mean? So he had some kind of shares, isn't it? But of course, AstraZeneca, wasn't it? So at the end of the day, I mean, I could be wrong here. I could be wrong. It's only what I heard, only what I heard. What's the point to what I'm saying? You know, he's looking a bit worn out these days, my delicious little babies. And if Ben Habib carries on the way he is, there we are, they'll surely, there we are, wear him out as well, especially with all of his little photographs all behind him. You know, just like Trouble Trump. Okay, my delicious babies. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to love you and leave you, because I must get me shut eye. Okay, my delicious babies. I need to be up there with the butterflies and fairies. So, yeah, it's just a quick video, my delicious babies, really. Just wanted to point something out. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, bright blessings to each and every one of you. Yeah, I could have left my light on, actually, to show you my delicious babies, you know, the old chandelier. You know what I mean? But I just thought I'd just leave it for now. So anyway, my delicious babies, if it's night time, night, sleep tight, watch the bed bugs don't bite, because if they do, they're dynamite. Okay, my delicious babies, how I love you all so very much love to each and every one of you. If anybody gets to listen to my video, I apologise for the scream, but I just needed to get this little video out. Okay, my delicious babies, you just take care now. Kisses, bright blessings, take care. Thank you for listening, for any likes, for any comments, and for everything that you ever do for myself. So many love and blessings. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.